Hey guys, Cyrex07 here, and today I got something a little different. So, the Rebirth expansion released for Jurassic World Evolution 3, and I pulled up the game and I was gonna start looking at everything, and then I thought, why don't I do a video where we could talk about it, And I could share like, my thoughts on it with you guys. So let's get into it. Aquilops. So first things first, I love Aquilops. So adorable. I love that they made it so like squirrel like kind of in the movie. Alright, so here's the movie skin. Dolores. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, okay. What kind of colors we got going on here? Hmm, kind of like that. Oops. Pattern's okay. What's the male look like? Oh, okay. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I like that. I like that. It's cute. I like the purple. Like the purple fading to blue. That looks nice. Dilophosaurus. Yep. So here's my first grievance. Here's my first grievance. So if you look, okay, here's the female. Now look at the male. Okay. And then here's the rebirth one. If the crest is that big, shouldn't it be on the male? And also, because I just noticed this about the Dominion one. Was that how big the crest was in Dominion? Like Frontier, like I've noticed, Frontier really favors the females when it comes to the movie skins. Like, it feels like if something isn't explicitly stated to be male, then they give the skin to a female. And I don't fully get that, you know? Like, some of those Dilos in Dominion were male, more than likely. Like, I understand the shorter crest thing. I get it. Like, that's a Frontier thing for this game. Like, I get it. But by their own logic, oh, females have shorter crests. if we're doing the skin with a large crest, then shouldn't this be on the male? Like, why not put it on both? Like that's what I'm getting at. Why not give it to both? Now, as far as the skin itself, love it, love it. Might be my favorite Dilo skin, like hands down. And I think we're gonna take a look here real quick. I wish we could zoom in more. If I'm not mistaken, first we're gonna compare it to the Dominion. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's a different head design. So slightly different model for the Dilo skin, but I love the skin. Like this is probably my favorite Dilo. I just wish it was at least on both, because it's like you can't have a mated pair of Rebirth Dilos. Like, and that's where my big issue. Like, and the 2001 Ankylosaurus is another one. This is just an example where it's only on the female, so you can't have a whole herd of just like 2001 Ankylosaurus with males and females, because only the females have the skin. I don't know why, and we'll get into another one in a sec. Distortus Rex. I've been curious about this one. So okay, it already has the movie skin, which I like. I like the D-Rex. I do. Now, hybrid or mutant? Oh no, I feel like that's up for debate, because before the movie came out, they kept calling it a mutant. The movie, they call it a hybrid. You know, I wonder if it could be like a mix of both, like it's a mutated hybrid. Because and here's and I'm gonna give 1 point to the hybrid argument, that it is a hybrid and not just because the movie says it is. The arms. What in its DNA gave it those arms? Now, I use a D-Rex mod in JW2, and on a map, I have a couple of other species on the map. Like, it's a secret facility type map, and in my head, I was like, oh, well, maybe an explanation for the arms could be there's some iguanodon DNA in there, or there's some Australopithecus DNA in there, which would lean towards human dinosaur hybrids, kind of slightly, but yeah. Like, I've always been so curious about the arms. It's like, oh, it's a mutated T Rex. Okay. But why? Anyways, I wish we had gotten some kind of explanation for it, or explored the D Rex. The D Rex definitely should have been explored more in the movie. So I've actually been working on a fanfic that basically retells Rebirth, but it's like, I mean, I could probably tweak it to where it fits within the timeline of the movies, but it basically ignores everything after the first movie, and it's set in like a completely different timeline. So, yeah, and that's not to say that I don't like any of the movies that come after the original. Like, no, I love all of them, even Dominion. I I love Dominion the least, or I like Dominion the least, but I still very much enjoy that movie. I just have a lot of issues with it. Rebirth, I probably enjoy maybe the most out of the World movies. So, but I also have issues with that movie. The D Rex is one of them. Like, and not the D Rex itself, but just underutilized, underexplored. You know, But anyways, let's oh, that's it. It doesn't have any it doesn't have any frontier skins. Well, that's disappointing. Yeah, see, so here we are again. All three skins are on the female. So, like, why? Like, even with the berries from Camp Cretaceous, like they at least threw one of the skins onto the male, right? Unless I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did. Yeah, they at least gave one of them to the male. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Camp Cretaceous, so I don't know if it's because that specific one was like said to be a male, but I just I don't really get Frontier's favoritism towards the female. Like, oh, movie skin, default it to the female. So you can't. Well, I mean, you could, but I was gonna say, so you can't. Well, you can't breed a pair of movie Spinos. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. But I'm liking what I'm seeing with the Frontier ones. Oh, we switched to the other Spino there for a sec. Gotta say, I do like that. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so same exact model. No dimorphism. Now, as far as the movie skins go, what do I like more? Mm, I probably like this one the most. Yeah, like because of the pattern, and also because of that notch in the sail. Yeah, I probably like this one the most. I like little things like that, little details like that. Titanosaurus. Oh, they gave us some versatility with Titanosaurus, so we can use both skins on both genders. That I like. Why can't all the skins be like that? Because I initially saw that and I was going to be like, now we know darn well one of those was a male. We know darn well one of those Titanosaurs in that couple was a male, and they put both skins on the female. But no. I like that. I like that, putting both skins on both genders. Like that. That is what they should do with all of them. I think in the next update, they should just do that with all the skins. Just all the skins, regardless of what gender the individual is in the movie or whatever. Just regardless, just all skins, both genders. So if you want to have a mating pair of two big Edie's, but one of them's a male, you can do it. Let's see what kind of skins we got. Titanosaurus is definitely one of my favorites. At least, like, in the movie universe. Honestly, it might be my favorite in the whole franchise. My favorite sauropod in the whole franchise. Like, the fins do a lot for me. Okay. 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 Yeah, here's a question. I feel like this is the female, and this is the male. I like that. I like that. Dude, what's going on with this one? Okay, okay, okay. Very subtle, very subtle. You know what? I like that too. So, but I think I'll probably mainly just use these. Like, I like that. I love the tail. I love the tail. Yeah, Titanosaurus probably my favorite sauropod in the game. Before that, I would say it was Dreadnoughtus, but I was a Dreadnoughtus fan before Dominion. Uh, so, like, I could have made an argument for Wait, Argentinosaurus is. I'm sorry, Patagotitan, not Argentinosaurus. Yeah, and then this is probably my second favorite sauropod in the game. T Rex. Some of you probably know where I'm going with this because we already know. We already know. Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, change it to Rebirth. Yeah. So, listen. Listen. This should be on the mail. This should be on the mail. Because if you go off of the behind the scenes comments that were made in the design process by the. Ooh, yep, even got the scars. First of all, let's talk about the skin. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Like, the lighting does not do this skin justice in the movie. It does not. Like there are times where I'm like watching the movie and I'm like, I can't tell what it's actually colored because of the lighting and camera angles and shit. Like there are moments where it looks like yellowish. You know what I mean? There's one shot where it's where the striping looks blue and the skin looks yellow, and I'm like, it's in the trailer, for in particular, and I'm just like, oh, it looks like they gave it the colors to match the logo. It's like that's cool, but then that shot wasn't in the movie. But anyways, if you look at the statements that were made in the design process, this should be a male. I know its name. I know it's referred to as Ember, but that had nothing to do with its gender. That was because I guess the meaning of Ember is charred, and it originally was going to have a different, like, much more gray and black color scheme. So the Ember name wasn't meant to be an indicator of gender. It was just like, oh, like this is what it looks like, and the name like matches that. Like this, I don't see a female in this at all. And I know there's a debate. I know there's a debate, but all I'm gonna say is I'm in the camp that Ember is a male. But but that's my main grievance is Frontier like favoring towards giving the skins to the females. But again, they could remedy that by doing what they have already done with Titanosaurus and Velociraptor, from what I understand, and that's just putting the skins on both genders. Like even if one of them is a female skin, like just putting it on both genders. So, Frontier in next update, can you just do that with all the skins? Like all of them, please. So now skin patterns. So tell me this isn't the step skin from Jurassic World Evolution 1. Tell me that's not the step skin. Or however it's pronounced. I always pronounced it step. Like, I do like that. I like that a lot. Kind of like that. Where are the color changes? Am I tripping or is nothing changing? Oh, I see. There it is. Okay, it's on the back. Okay. Now for the male. So, okay, Sonoran Desert, Death Valley, Great Sandy Desert. Okay. Oh, we also have some on the face. Okay, okay. Velociraptor. Already. Already. Listen. Listen. Okay, first of all, we're going to focus on the female first. Okay. So, okay, 93, 97B, 2001B. Okay. So, the JP3 Raptors are my favorite raptor. Were our. Listen. Look. I think I might like the Rebirth Raptors more than the JP3 Raptors. Also, I like how with the Rebirth Raptors, the females also have quills, but they're just way shorter. Like that kind of detail, I think, and I don't know if that's a Frontier thing or if that was, maybe meant for the movie versions, because it's two males that we see in the movie. It's two males. I think the only potential female we see is the two-headed one in the tube that was in the trailer, which was also in the movie. If you saw the extra wide version of it, you do see the two-headed raptor in the tube in the actual movie. But in the main theatrical release, you don't see it. But I like because it was like white colored, going off of JP3 Raptors. I always felt like that was probably a female. Um, but you know what? I am not mad at this. I like that. and it fits with the how the island was described to us before the movie came out, like an island of misfit dinosaurs. Like too dangerous. Like there's stuff wrong with them. They weren't. They were like specimens that didn't come out right. Right. But again, we have this versatility with the skins. So okay, JP3, and then Rebirth. I'm liking the Rebirth ones more. The Rebirth Raptors, I think, especially this one. Like I think this I think this is taking the number one spot for me. I like the longer quills. In fact, if you look closely, there's even like extra color on the quills too. Yeah, and I love the Red Raptor. I'm glad they did the Red Raptor. I was worried they wouldn't do the Red Raptor. I love the extra long quills on it. Ugh, you're always gonna be my boy. It's just you're now in the number 2 or 3 spot. And you had the number 1 spot for so long, but it's yeah. The Raptors are probably my favorite part of this whole thing. Like they look phenomenal, phenomenal. You know, but yeah, it's like you could have a mating pair of these ones. I love that they even gave the female little quills. You could have a mating pair of these ones. You could have, you know, the female be the red one, and the male be the other one, or vice versa. Like I'll say it again, Frontier, please, in a future update, make all of the skins versatile like this, please. Pretty please. Phenomenal work on the Raptors, on the Rebirth Raptors. Phenomenal, more than I could have hoped for. More than I could have hoped for. What? All right. So in this case, this makes sense. It is reasonable to assume that the one we see in the movie is the female because it's defending the nest. You know, so makes sense that this skin would be on the female. As far as the other skins go, I like it. I think Frontier did an X. Ooh, I like that. I think Frontier did an excellent job on the skins. I like that. Mm. Yeah. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. That looks dope. Oh, yeah. Frontier, you did a great job on these skins. Great job. Look at that. That is so pretty. And I love when it also changes the color of the quills. Now, and this isn't Frontier's fault because Frontier's just taking what's in the movie, put it in the game. But we know that's not what a Quetzalcoatlus looks like. I mean, I guess. See, and here's the tricky thing. Here's the tricky thing, and I'm gonna explain why it's an issue for me. So, 2022, we got Dominion, which is when we got this Quetz, right? And that's pretty darn accurate to what the Quetz looked like, right? So that's cool. That's cool. And then we get to Rebirth, and they're like, "Oh, Quetzalcoatlus," and it's like, that looks nothing like Quetzalcoatlus. But hold on. Then we got the description of the island and all of that, um, and it's like, okay, so it's a Quetz that didn't come out right. Like, okay. Which there was a funny thing I heard about the Spidos, the Rebirth Spidos, is the joke was that Engine basically accidentally made an accurate Spino, but because it didn't look the way they expected it to, they were like, "Oh, it's wrong." When someone said that, I thought that was funny. I'm trying to think who it was. Like, I think it was like Best in Slot. Was it Best in Slot or was it Evo? It was one of those two, I think, that said that. But I thought it was so funny because I was like, yeah, I was like, actually, I can see that being the case. Um, but all right, so like we know that's not what Quetz looked like. But because of the way the island is described, the history of it, the whole like, oh, that they didn't come out right, you know, it's like, okay, well, we can get on board with that. You know, it's like, okay, this is the engine variant. You know, the engine variants, don't always aren't always very accurate to the real to what was actually like alive at that time or back in that time. And then I remember reading that it was changed to Quetzalcoatlus, right? That it was actually supposed to be Thanatos Draca. Okay? Uh, Thanatos Draca. One of my favorite pterosaurs in the game. Thanatos Draken, right here. Okay. So I remember reading that apparently it was originally supposed to be Thanatos Draken. And that it was changed to Quetzalcoatlus because people were already familiar with that name because of Dominion, and so they went with name recognition over introducing a new pterosaur species. Okay, hey, that's fine. And again, like, doesn't look like Thanatos Draken, but for the same reasons for the reasons already stated, like, okay, no, we can get on board with that. Why does the skeleton in the museum look like this when he says it's Quetzalcoatlus? That is not a Quetz skeleton. That is that skeleton. But this shouldn't actually represent something that actually existed. Because it's supposed to be wrong. You know what I mean? And we've already seen Quetzalcoatlus in Dominion, which looks pretty accurate to what it looked like in real life. So why does the skeleton in Rebirth in the museum look like this? That's always bugged me. Like from the first moment, like I was watching the movie for the first time, okay? From the moment they showed that skeleton, I was like, that's wrong. That shouldn't look like that. That's why. Like I was almost distracted by it. So it's one of my issues that I do have with Rebirth. Fictional world, fictional species, is what it is. Maybe this is. I'm sure there's an explanation to be found somewhere. But yeah, that's always bugged me. Now the model itself, I love. I love it. Like, I love the idea of this being a genetically wrong Quetz. Yeah, definitely going to be using this. Now the Mutadon. Same thing as the D-Rex. Although we got a couple of skins. So Mutadon A and Mutadon B. Okay. So I like this one more. Now, how do I feel about the Mutadons? The first time I saw them, I wasn't a fan. And then over time, especially after seeing the movie, I fell in love with them. Like, I love the Mutadons. I actually thought they were scary in the movie. Believe it or not, I actually thought they were scary. They actually had moments where I was just like, these things are fucking relentless. Like, the one coming through the ceiling, the one that, like, pulled open the grate and then just forced its way through the hole to get into that tunneling system. Like, the aggressiveness, the viciousness, the fact that they fly. Which, I didn't think they'd be able to fly. I thought they would be too heavy to fly. So when the one actually, like, picked up and flew off with the raptor, I was just like, oh, fuck, they can fly. So, yeah, I love the Mutadons. Now, the name I've never been a fan of. I saw someone in the comment section of a video refer to the Mutadon as a Terror Raptor. That is what they should have been called in the movie, is Terror Raptors. Like, that is a way better name. Okay? Because also, Mutadon, mutant, I don't buy this as a mutant. This, to me, because it even says it in the movie, this is a Pteranodon Velociraptor hybrid. Like, that's what this is. This is not a mutated raptor. This is a raptor that, like, this is a Pteranodon raptor hybrid. So, their whole mutant thing, I don't know why, but they did not commit to that shit. Because both are labeled as hybrids in the movie. You know, they refer to the D-Rex as a hybrid. This, when you see the two-headed Mutadon, like, on the thing, it clearly says hybrid. Like, Pteranodon, Velociraptor, hybrid. But before the movie, they were like, oh, the mutants, the T-Rex, it's the mutated T-Rex. You know, the Mutadon, you know, it's a mutant. It's a mutated Velociraptor that came out with some Pteranodon traits. It's like, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. But, yeah, it is what it is. But for the creature itself, the animal itself, I love this. I'm falling in love with it more and more as I'm looking at it here. Like, the way it moves, just absolutely one of my favorite species in the whole game. Good luck content, Badlands, Wetlands, Rebirth, here we go. So, there it is. We got the gas station. And then we have engine viewing tower, hell yeah. We have Mayan ruins. Well, we don't know Mayan. I think they're Mayan. Love it. I need these decorations in GW2. I need a lot of this shit in GW2. But, yeah. Could the Quetz fit through that? I feel like the Quetz might fit. It'd be dope if it could. Like, make like a... Well, no, it would just fly through the rocks. But it'd be so dope if we could make, like, a cave. You know, and this is the cave entrance. And the Quetz nest is in there. That'd be dope. So... But yeah, I mean that pretty much covers it, I think. So oh, Vegas. All right, so that pretty much covers everything. I'm gonna play around with this for a little bit, and have some fun with it. I am, I'm contemplating doing a video of the story DLC. I haven't completed the main campaign yet. I'm stuck on Portugal, but since the Rebirth DLC takes place before, I might, I might. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, that's all for now, guys. So like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments. What you think about everything that we got. Let me know if I missed anything. Uh, but yeah, let me know what you think on the skins. You know, how would you feel if they went ahead and just made all the skins versatile, like they did with Titanosaurus and Velociraptor? I definitely think, like in a future update, give the D-Rex and Mutadons frontier skins. I definitely think that should be the case. I'm actually really surprised they didn't. Like that's unusual. Like, huh. Uh, Also, missing species: a Neurognathus. What else? I've seen people mention the amphibian, which okay, but yeah, like a Neurognathus. I don't know if we're gonna get that because we don't even have. Well, that was a deluxe species, so we're probably or a deluxe species. That was a DLC species. So we probably won't get the. I never knew how to pronounce it, but the one that looks similar from JW2. Um, what other what other species? Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think and what you think they should fix, add, remedy in future updates. All right, so like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.